Do you want to maximize your gym's profits in the next 30 days? If so, listen to me. My name is James Robinson. I'm the head of March on Gyms, co-founder of the PFCA, the UK's #1 fitness education company, and of course, the Gym Owner Network, the place to be for a gym owner come and turn pro. We have successfully transformed over 150 gyms in 14 different countries, and we've skyrocketed them well past $500,000 a year in turnover on average. That's what we do. But if you want me to help you increase your gym's profitability in the next 30 days, hear me out. Now, the clickbait, quick fix thing right now is if you don't have a strong, compelling front-end offer, that is something you need to implement right now. Gone are the days of doing a very low cost or free trial for someone to come in and experience your services. Those days are gone, right? The cost to acquire clients are much higher. The cost to try and nurture these people, to try and convert them, is much harder. So by leveraging a higher front end, you can seek to really wash your marketing expenses and get some leverage. So if you aren't running a 6-week challenge, I suggest you do something like that. Most gyms across the UK in rural regions are charging around the $297 to $347 mark for a 6-week challenge where you're getting small group personal training, some nutrition coaching, in-person consult, all that fluff, all that bullshit. Now, that is the quick fix answer. But if you're a gym owner and you're watching our shit, it's because you're not looking for quick fixes. You're actually looking to turn pro, become a real owner operator, someone who can actually build proper business. So if you're worried about your profits, if you're worried about money, you're often emotional about business. You have high highs and you have low lows, and you feel like you can't invest into growth. You feel like you can't invest into yourself. You feel like you can't invest into your team and or your facility. You've got broken equipment and you don't have the money to invest. Then I'm going to give you 3 solutions and I'm going to tell you how to do it. Number 1, you need to track KPIs. Number 2, you need to know your margin. Number 3, you need to think long term. So how do we bring that to life? Number 1, if we aren't tracking our KPIs, we are going to be at the beck and call of emotions, and you aren't going to understand which key performance markers are actually just in line with your natural growth. So things like churn, for example, attrition, the rate of members that you lose typically on a month-to-month basis. If you're a small group facility and you lose on average 3%, that's a good number to be at. If you're a 200-member gym, you start to get a little bit more comfortable with losing, 5 to 7 members a month and go, okay, do you know what? That's a good month, that's a bad month, but it's within KPI. Whereas if you just fall in line with emotion and 3 members happen to leave on one day, no one else is left in the month, but you don't understand it, you don't track those numbers, it's a kick in the balls and you have no idea what to do with it. It slows you down, you bury your head in the sand, and lo and behold, nothing gets moved and you just slow down. That's not a good place to be. So we need to track that. Data is important. The next thing is you need to know your margins. So whether you understand what your actual profits are in the business or not, just do this exercise. What is your turnover that you're bringing in? Are you putting money away for your VAT and your taxes? Then you want to look at your operating expenses. So what are your general operating expenses, the budget in which you're spending money month on month? And then you got to think about, well, how much owner's pay do you need? Are you taking enough money for yourself personally? So at a very surface level, that's kind of where I need you to be. Once you look at that, then you can look at your business and go, cool, I have room to grow here, or I need to cut back on a few things. Oftentimes, gym owners have subscriptions to things they don't need. They have booking software that's way too elaborate for their actual needs. All of a sudden, you got all these costs that are just stacking up for no real reason. So seek to cut things that are fluff, focus on investments that are going to allow you to grow money. Then all of a sudden, we start to recognize where our margins are, which is really important. Then you got to look back and reverse engineer from where you need to be. How much do you need to earn to live the life you want to live, to have a team you want to have, to invest into the business you want to invest in? That's the whole shooting match. You have to get that right. And then finally, whatever decisions you make it for the next 100 members, not the current. So oftentimes when you look at pricing, when you think about doing a price increase, we are crippled with fear of what John's going to think, what Stacy's going to think, what Lauren's going to think. Where in reality, you need to remove emotion. You need to look at the data and go, for the value that I want to deliver, the people that are going to value my service, this is where it needs to be. I believe I can attract 100 people on this thing. Obviously, you need to believe that with good data, not just a whim. And then that's where we focus our attention, our efforts, and where we move towards. So, of course, if you want to have some quick fix money, do some strong front-end offers. It's easy. You can do some cool shit, get a little bit of quick cash. But if you want to have a long-term, successful, sustainable business that has predictable growth and has a solid trajectory of a financial future for you and your team and the business, then there's nothing else but following the Gym Owner Network model, a proven model for helping you build a highly profitable business that you're proud of.